Hey everybody, Kim here with Little Biz Resources, and today let's look at making Pinterest video pins completely free using Canva. Now we're going to look at 3 different ways to make video pins, Pinterest video pins specifically, though you could do this pretty much for any video pin you're looking to do, but we're going to look at it just for Pinterest, and we're going to make pins with the elements inside Canva only, and then we're going to make a pin with existing video, or in my case it'll be stock video from Pixabay, which you can also do. Or we're going to make it, the last one's going to be make a pin with the screen recording software that I use, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and get started, and what we do is we say create a design. So we're on Canva, obviously canva.com, and actually I'm in mine, which if you're on canva.com. Create a design, and we're going to say Pinterest video pin right here. Now, one thing that you should note is that when I selected that, you can see that it has a size of 1000 by 1500 pixels. The reason why you want to keep it at that is that that's the 2:3 ratio. And as of today, right now, this minute, Pinterest says that that is the ratio that they recommend so your pins do not get cut off. Now, for those who have not heard, Pinterest is maybe possibly in talks with being bought out by PayPal. So who knows what this is going to be next week or the week after or in the future, right? But in the past, historically, Pinterest used to have longer pins and they started cutting them off. And this is the ratio they're cutting them off to. So if your pin is going to be, it doesn't fit within the parameters, they could have the potential of cutting it off, and that doesn't really serve a lot of purpose for you. So just go with the dimensions. I recommend the dimensions in Canva. They keep up with this. And then of course you can always double check from Pinterest itself. But like I said, Pinterest video pin, 1000 by 1500 pixels is what they recommend. Now, when you're in here, there are a bunch of, you see where it says free here, there are a bunch of free templates that you could use, and you could just swap it out, change some colors, and it would be fine. Now, obviously, they're using a video in the background in a lot of these. So if you don't have existing video, that doesn't help. So let me show you how to do this without any type of existing video. You could, of course, still use a template and then just delete that and put something else in there. Or we'll just do it from scratch instead, okay? So I'm going to go to Elements. And, well, actually, first what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a text. So let's just say Pinterest video pins free. And I'm going to do, maybe put that there. And actually, let's just do the whole thing. How to make Pinterest video pins free with Canva. All right, so that way we could probably use this, right? I'm going to put it in the middle just in case, again, stuff gets cut off. And now I don't really like that font, so I'm going to change it. And I'm going to change it just to this one. Nope, I'm going to change the whole thing to it. Just make sure that's okay. And then you could change the color, you could change the size if you want to, right? You can do everything that you would normally do with a Pinterest pin. Now the difference is that with video, you want things to move, right? You want motion. So you could leave this and then put motion in the background. You know, there's no rules for here, right? So, and I'll show you this exact same method. I'll show you how to do this, and I'll put a background video in it so that way you don't have to animate the text. But let's go ahead and animate the text. We'll click animate, and you can see this one says none, and then there's block, and it'll show you kind of what it does. That one's kind of neat. Then there's ascend, and then bounce, burst. Now the ones that are all, see how this one down here says drift? That's one of the pro feature ones. So we can't use that for free. But if you have Canva and you're a paid Canva user, I can talk. You can use these. So, but let's go back to a couple of these. We've got, ooh, that one's kind of neat. I haven't seen that one. It's kind of long too, though. That one's shorter. I like that one. Yeah, so we can just go through, find the one we like. I'm going to change the color of this to maybe red. And then let's go with background. And I don't know. I like the cloud stuff, but we're going to play with clouds later. So actually we'll play with ocean later. So you can come in, you can say, I'm just going to go with black. And then we can go to elements. We're going to do Pinterest. And they don't, so now here's something to pay attention to on the elements. Some elements, like none of these do, but let's just say that we have, you can see like this one right here. This is an email one, and it's animated already. Now, if you're running a video, you can put these are more like GIF style, but they repeat, right? So they however long it takes them, they'll just repeat through the cycle of however long the particular screen is. Now, in this case, because we don't have any video that we're adding to this, right now our screen takes 5 seconds long, okay? Now, if we wanted to make it longer, we could just basically make slideshows for all of these. You could have it completely text if you want, though I will say Pinterest and Instagram and all of these are saying, hey, if it's text heavy, we're going to reduce your reach. Don't know how true that is, but that is what they're saying. So you come in here and you do a second page. It's also 5 seconds, but you can extend this by putting in animation and telling the animation, which we're not going to use this one, but we could say that this one's not going to let us do it either. Animate. So we can add some animation to it as well. And now it's 8 seconds because this takes 8 seconds. But if we click on it, we can make it take a little bit longer. And then we could also preview it right here. So you can see it 18 seconds. I just made it 18 seconds. So that did its motion. Now this one's going to just repeat for 18 seconds. Okay. So we've done that. So let's go ahead and delete this element because I don't want it. And we're at this one now, we're at 13.5. We just click that and we'll put that back to whatever 5 seconds it was. Now, I recommend that you do preview these before. Now this one, there's 2 of them that are 10 seconds. So that's why it's saying it's taking that. So let's delete that one. And now it's 5 seconds. So you want it, especially if you have text, you want it to be there long enough, right? So let's go ahead and do that. And then let's do an element. We're going to do, let's say video and see what's in there. Doesn't look like there's, ooh, this one's a person, right? A person getting all excited about it. So I keep moving this up, but I'm trying not to go too high. So now it says we're at 5 seconds, and I think that's still okay with the text there. So we could do this. We can do another one, and we could do maybe, you know, step 1, step 2, and that would be more of like idea pin concept. But this is only 5 seconds long. If you want it to be 5 seconds long, it's still a video pin, right? You could run it as 5 seconds for a video pin. Now, I don't know that you get much effort put through for a video pin, but one of the benefits of a video pin from Pinterest is that you do get to link it to other, you know, to a location rather than idea pin where you don't. So video pins are meant to kind of like, I guess to me, they're more like inspiration to click over to get more information. So, you know, if you're doing like a recipe, you would feature different things. So in this case, we've got our, and you can see here, they've got more magic recommendations since we clicked on that one, and we can check out and see if there's other ones that are related. I'm not really seeing anything that's that similar. It's not the greatest. They're magic recommendations. So video here, we've got, and you can see even this is a picture, a video, and this one looks like that's a picture. Sometimes you'll have some video ones that pop up. Here's one that's 16 seconds. And so sometimes you have it in here and it would be great. Oh, here we go. This one would be good. Let's go back here and maybe we'll just, I'm going to copy my text. I kind of want to keep the same, for me, I want to keep the same effect because it is a little bit easier to, how to make Pinterest video pins free with Canva. Click the link for a video tutorial. Maybe a free video tutorial. I don't know where I am. Free video tutorial, right? And then let's use this one. So now we're at a grand total of 11 seconds, okay? Now let's go ahead and review what we have so far. And we've got how to make Pinterest video pins free with Canva. Click the link for a free video tutorial, right? So now this one, it depends. You're going to need to watch this and play with it and see how your audience reacts. Some people know that means to click the actual link. And some of them, because this could be playing, auto playing in their feed, you might have to say click, or you might have to say something about click inside or whatever. You need to test this to see, because if there's a lot of people viewing but nobody clicking or entering, that might be the instructions. And it depends on your audience. Some audiences and some niches are trained better than others on how to use Pinterest. So there's just something you're gonna have to test out. But for now, we'll just leave it like that. So then when we download, and I know it says publish to Pinterest, but we're gonna download this and and load it later for use for scheduling. Okay. So we're going to do it as an MP4 video, and we're going to say download. And then as that downloads, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to hop over to Pixabay real quick, and we're going to grab a video from here. Okay, so Pixabay is free. They have royalty-free stock images and videos for that matter. And right here, I'm on Pixabay.com. I'm going to change this to videos, and I'm going to do ocean just because. And I'm going to come in here. I'm going to find one I like. You can scroll over it. It gives you kind of a little view of what it's going to be. That one's not crashing well enough. I want some waves crashing. So maybe that's what I should put in there. Waves crashing. This is not. These are sponsored. Now down here, though, it's a little bit better. Not better. Too slow. Too fake. I think that one's okay. I think that's the same as this one. No, this is only 6 seconds. So you can see it's only 6 seconds, which is fine because I'm just doing it as to show you. So let's just go ahead and put this one in. Free download. I don't need it that big because if you remember, we're doing really small pins, right? 10,000. So I can do the smallest one they have, which is not 25. It's the same size, whatever. Download. Now I'm not signed in, but you can log in, and sometimes if you're not signed in, it'll make you do like some different things, but I'm not signed in. So you can just come here, you can download it. You don't have to sign up or anything, and it's free, right? So then we've done that one. So now we're going to use, since we're using the same size, I'm just going to delete these elements for now. And actually I'm going to leave the font. And in this case, I'm going to go ahead and upload the media. Make it so you don't get sick. We're going to download that background that you can see I've done this before a few times. And we're going to download it, and it's going to come in here. Now, Pixabay lets you do searches, but I don't like searching from here, and I've never done video searches from here, so I don't even know if it works. But what I like to do is search on Pixabay and download and upload it, just simply because it makes it easier for me to get what I want. So now I could literally so think about this. This is for you could have your own video as well in here, right? This doesn't have to be specifically for something like Pixabay. But if you have your own video, just depending on the size, a lot of people have this landscape size, and they're like, well, how do I fit it into Canva, or how do I fit it in on Pinterest then without it being, to make it bigger? Well, you really can't, depending on how you're doing it. But if you have something like this where it's a background, right, you can actually make this bigger and move it. And now we'll go ahead and do the same thing here. Well, actually, let's just copy that so it's exactly the same. I don't know why it's not letting me do Control C anymore. Keeps telling me. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and play it, right? So now we've got that background video as well. Now you don't have to have the text. It's repeating. Now you don't have to have the text in there as well, but or is it animated as well? You can just have it be like normal text if you wanted to, and just have the background be there. So that's another way that you could do it really quick. So let's go ahead and download that one. We'll test it as well. It's obviously not ideal, but we're going to go ahead and download it and test it. So we're gonna hit download. And then this next one, I'm going to go ahead and let it download. But something that I want to show you, and this is going to be a little bit hard while I'm recording with one software to try to use another software, right? So one of the softwares that I use for screen recording lets me customize the size. Now this is not, I think they do have a free version, but I don't know how much you can do with the free version. Mine is paid. It's really cheap. It's like, 12, 15, 20 bucks a year, something like that. It's really, really cheap. So it's called Screencast-o-matic. And what I do is I usually just screen record on here, and I like this one because like the one I'm using right now is Streamlabs OBS to record, and I can't pause it, right? So you're going to get all the mistakes and all, because there's going to be a lot of editing. But if I start like coughing in the middle of it, I would have to edit that out. Whereas if I feel a cough coming and I'm using Screencast-o-matic, I can pause it. So I really like that period when I'm doing recording. But what's even better is that you can, I'm going to hit record, but I'm not going to actually record. I'm just going to show you. It comes up and it lets me, if I'm doing, I wonder if it's going to let me move it over here. Yeah, so if I'm doing a full screen, so let me show you from full screen. There's full screen, right? So it tells me full screen. So then I would come in here and say size, and I'm like, wait, I don't have an option, right? Well, if I hit 480, it gives me this size, and then I can start to adjust it if I wanted to, right? So if I'm like, hey, I just want to do this square part, or whatever size I want, because remember, we're going to create the pin separately. So as long as it's less than that 1000 by 1500, it'll fit in there. And then you can stretch it like I showed you. So here we've got this size. I'm like, well, I don't really like that size. I think I'm going to go with more like, I don't want to go too, so for under 1000 by 1500, why don't I go, and I already know my screen maxes out at 1000 high, right? So I know I'm going to do 1000 this way, and then maybe I'll do 750, right? So let's just say that that's what I'm going to do. So that's less than 1000 by 1500. So now mine's 750 by 1000, and I can fit it wherever I want in this screen, right? And I can be like, hey, this is, I can do screen recordings if I want to put something in there. If I'm doing a headshot, I can do that, which I should also mention that if you're like, hey, I want to do headshots, and you don't want to, in the screen recording, you would just put in the exact same way we just did the video, right? So, but the other thing you can do is you can record yourself. Now, I don't have a camera hooked up, so I can't test it right now. My daughter keeps stealing it. But you could record yourself, allow access, and then do a recording and play with it that way as well. So if you're like, hey, I don't really care about as much the specific elements that are on the screen and you just want it to be you talking, then you could do something like that as long as you have a camera. So those are 3 really simple ways to get started making video pins with Pinterest using Canva. Okay, so in the spirit of showing you, I decided to go ahead and make an insert this where I'm making, this is the size that we talked about, right? And I might slide this down a little bit and make this a slight bit bigger. And so now on my screen, I have it just captured a specific spot in my screen. So now I would have to play with this to be what I want. So for example, if I am trying to tweak what's on here and I'm like, oh, hey, I want to get an element, it makes it really small. But if the people don't, if it doesn't matter, then you might want to start this way. And then instead, let's go ahead and move this over a little bit, make this, bigger so that they don't have to necessarily see all the elements and they could just watch you doing what you need to do here, right? So it just kind of depends on what you're doing, how you want to do it and everything else. There's not a whole lot of rules as far as it goes. It's just you want to put the information that they need. If you're trying to put it in the pin, you want to put it in the screen. So then you could do whatever you need to do here. So I really like, again, I really like Screencast-o-matic. That's my favorite screen capture software. It's really inexpensive. I believe they do a free version. I'll put a link down there. Okay, now we skip over to, I wanted to show you this part because I realized when I was watching the recording that I'm like, oh, I didn't explain this well enough. So when you record, you're actually recording in that dimension. So the recording, even though for some reason, I'm not saying for some reason, it's because I already have it existing as a landscape video, that when I inserted that video, it inserted it in the middle of the landscape recording. But when you record it and don't put it in a landscape, it comes out to the size it needs to be, right? So we went ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and delete this so you can see that I'm going to put the video in. So what I did is I have this, right? That's the size. And then it starts playing. So I actually have 2 of them in here now. So let's go ahead and I can make this bigger, right? So now look at my screen recording right in the middle. Or if you want to make it a little bit smaller, and this was old school way of doing stuff, you could put font down here, right? You could do your demo here and talk about what the demo is or the link they need to go to or whatever it is. And so there's a lot of different things that you can do when you're taking the video and putting it into Canva. And the whole point of making it this size was so that it could, maximize the amount of screen that's showing within the pin. Okay. And so I wanted to make sure you saw that so you could see that this is, it's pretty simple to do. No, don't play. It's pretty simple to do, and it's inside it. Now you can see that it's the same length. The amount of time is the same length as this. And there's not a whole lot of editing. You can do editing in here in Canva. They keep changing what you can and can't access at the free level. So I don't want to make any promises because things can change. But if you have Screencast-o-matic, which is what I'm doing, and by the way, they do have a free version. It's free, right? Record for free, and they even have an edit for free, and that's new. So this, I really do like this. I think it's a good one to get started with. They probably have time limits on it and stuff, but you can check it out. Like I said, the pricing on this is really not bad. If you decide you want to upgrade, $1.65 a month. It's billed yearly, which means you're going to pay $19.80 and probably plus tax, wherever you're at, right? So that's if you want to do Screencast-o-matic. So now we've got a couple of video pins. Let's go into Pinterest and load them up real quick, right? Now, if you have something like Tailwind, which I also have, I'm not going to show you that on this one. But if you have something like Tailwind, you can schedule pins out to be optimized, which I do highly recommend, right? But if you have, and we're going to go down to, I've got to go in to the video pins that we did, right? So we did this one right here. So I'm going to drag and put it in there. There it is, right? So it's showing it. And I can put my title, which would match. I kind of didn't make it match. Wow, I don't know why I can't type when I record. I can't type sometimes when I'm not recording either, but I usually can type. So, and then you here, of course, you've got, they say recommend at least 100 characters, then you get up to 500, you can put a description in there. This has changed. I'm going to tell you guys, this has changed a lot in the last couple of years. We used to do, you know, whole blog posts in here, and can't do that anymore. And then they have this tags now, which is, it's newer and it's really, really difficult to play with, right? So you come in here and you're like, you have to like search for tags. So video, video games, video, nope, not video marketing maybe. And again, you just have to keep typing and figure out what they have in here. I don't know what makes a tag show up in here. You could do education marketing. You could do Pinterest. Let's see if we, this obviously changing it. So I put Pinterest and those are not the ones I want, right? So then I'm going to say, I don't even know. No, it's not affiliate marketing. It's going to be video marketing, which we already tried. We'll just do marketing again. See if there's a different one besides. Here's small business marketing, but it's under finance, which doesn't make any sense. Education marketing plan, a business marketing. We could do that. We could do even content marketing. We could probably do that. So you can come in here. I don't remember. I think it's maybe 3 tags you can do or something. Destination link. This is obviously going to go. I don't have my destination link, so we're not going to finish this yet because obviously I'm still making the video for it. But you put the destination link here, and then you're going to, if you want to publish it immediately, you just, you know, change to where, in fact, you need to change this to where you want it anyway. So we'll do, in this digital marketing, we'll just do that one. And then, but we can publish at a later date, right? So you can change the date and the time of when you want to do. I'm going to tell you, this takes a lot longer than doing it through Tailwind, but this is completely free version, right? So we're going to do everything for free right here. And this one, you want to make sure you do this, you know, see how, you know, watch the video to see how to create Pinterest video pins completely free with Canva. Wow, I'm adding letters in here and everything. Different, use your existing video, stock video, screen captures. Wow. And more. Now, we used to teach doing hashtags, but Pinterest has officially come out and said no hashtags. So do not put any more hashtags in, okay? And that's how you go ahead and schedule it. And again, if you want to use something like Tailwind or something, you can. I'll put a link in there for you to check out Tailwind if you want to. It's really cool. But they do have a free version too for like 100 pins a month or something. But you could check that out if you want to. And then, of course, make sure you put your destination link and then you can save it later. So I'm not going to finish this because I'm obviously waiting for my destination link. So that is from start to finish, how you create the video pins and even how you upload them. And we're finally at the end, and if you have any questions or comments, you can post them here in the video. You can hop into the Facebook group and ask questions. Check out our channel banner, the YouTube channel banner for the video schedule, and join us on Thursdays for live Q&A every Thursday here on the YouTube channel at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, at least right now it is. So check the channel banner, though, in case that changes. And I thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, please do post them. Please reach out. Let me know what else you want to learn about. And I thank you for your time.